the city of Gretna is making progress on what will be a massive entertainment complex, complete with a pool, a dog park, sports fields, and more. Our Johan Marin spoke to the Gretna mayor, who says it will be something new for locals to enjoy this fall.
From water slides to a brand new baseball field, you're looking at a sneak peek of what will soon be Gretna Crossing Park.
We're going to have an amphitheater, a fishing pond, nature trails, the 18-course frisbee golf.
On Tuesday, the city took another step toward opening the 155-acre complex. They approved naming rights in a deal that will bring in more than $600,000 over a decade. United Bank will pay to put their name on the park. Great Plains Communication will have its name on the soccer fields.
These sponsorships allow us to really take care of the park without burdening the taxpayers more. So it's a great combination of a partnership with the private and the public working together to really offer a really neat venue.
Much of the park's $55 million price tag will come from half-cent sales tax raised approved by voters. Construction started in 2021 and there have been challenges, but they're entering the home stretch.
There are a lot of challenges with COVID and the supply chains and a lot of that, but our staff and the construction crews have done a fantastic job of keeping this on schedule and close to budget.
Mayor Mike Evans says the goal of this park is to bring the community together and bring a sense of belonging. On your side, Johan Marin, 6 News.